I know. 55.
Well, we have one.
Oh, and Tara.
What's the prize?
Hi, everybody.
It's $1 million.
Oh,
No.
They wish they would be here.
I guess we'll go ahead and get started. This is the prize. It's a Lyrics Jive water-resistant wireless speaker.
Ooh, awesome, yeah.
Water-resistant if you want to take it to the pool or something.
Or shower.
Or the shower.
I don't know that kind of
You
time.
just got to listen to that lecture in the shower. So. All right, well, today we're going to talk about Moodle, yay, and groups and discussion forums in Moodle. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen and get started here.
I love that because she has it open. And this is really basic stuff, so feel free to just jump in and ask a ton of questions or whatever if there's a specific need that you have on this. So basically, I don't know if you guys are familiar with how to get started if you want to use groups in your assignments in Moodle, but this is how you would create the group. Have any of you done this? Have you created the basic group? Okay. So I'll kind of walk through the steps for those of you that haven't done this, if you'd like to do this. I will say that if you are an adjunct, I would probably just make sure your program director is okay with you using it. And if they are, what you'd want to do at the end of the course is just take the group out or just deactivate the groups, because if they do want to save it as a template or something, it's going to do that on all the templates, and you don't want to do that. So just a FYI on that. But so what you would do is in your course, this administrative or administration panel on the left, you go to users and then go to groups. Okay, and I've already created some here, but what you would do from scratch is just say create group. Right there. Name your group, anything you want to name it. I just have group A, group B, that type of thing. So do that, save it, go back to this other page. I'll just take that. Okay, so then it will show the names that you've given your groups there. And then what you'll do is you'll click on the group, and it will show people in your course. And what you'll do is just say add and highlight their name and add them to that group or remove them. And so that's how you can put your students in all of your groups in your courses. Beyond that, what you have to also do is you have to create a grouping, which sounds funny to me. There's groups and there's groupings. So to do that, go back to that same page, go to the grouping tab, create grouping, give it a name. This is rather like if you have different modules that you teach, like in a in a program or something, you could say that this is your module 1 for network management, groups or something like that. And so whenever you use it, it's your module 1 students or something, whatever really you want to name it. It doesn't have to be a module, but that's just an example. So after you name it, this is the name I gave mine, example module 1 groups. Then you have to go in and you have to actually put the groups that you want in that grouping. And so you click on this groups icon right here, and you'll see all of your groups. And then you just add them over into that area, and then you go back to groupings. So it's pretty easy on that part. Okay, so we've done that. We've created the groupings, placed them there. So talking to Michelle about this, our Moodle person, she suggests not doing this on course level, but doing it on the assignment level. So, because you don't want to set it for the whole course, because you don't want every assignment to be in groups. Hopefully you don't. I don't know. So what you would do is, these are the steps to do it for each assignment. Edit settings, common module settings, group mode. When you get to group mode, there's 2 different ones, separate or visible. Separate, when they log into that assignment or start that assignment, they can only work or see their group. visible. They can see all the goings on of the other groups, but they can't participate in those groups. So that would be in a classroom setting, they can hear and they can see all the other groups working, but they can't really go over there and participate. So kind of like that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So Tara says she's tried to auto-create, but it created 3 groups, one with everyone, one with 7 students, and one with 6 students. She didn't realize it until after the class started, and she's asking if she erases the group that's a whole class, will it mess up the post in forums that they already completed?
That's a colleague thing. Every course now that's pushed by colleague has one group that has every student in it.
Oh, okay.
And so you can't delete, it'll come back the very next day.
It will.
It might delete what they've already done, but it will come
Okay.
back because we played around with that. I
Okay.
have.
Well, I'm wondering, could she create a different grouping with different groups and then just, and what you would do on the assignment level is just change the grouping. So you would no longer want that grouping, you'd want the one you created. I'm wondering if that would work.
A colleague when it pushes the course, it creates a group already that has every student in the course in it. And you can't delete it. It'll show back up the very next day.
Yeah.
You can delete it, but it'll be right back.
Gosh. Okay.
So then you almost have to have a separate grouping with just your groups, because
Yeah.
otherwise
Yeah, that grouping is kind of a new thing. We didn't used to have that
Okay,
before
so that came
colleague.
in with
Mhm.
colleague. Okay, well that makes sense now. Yeah. Okay.
So she'll have a grouping with just like her A and B group, the
Yeah.
7 and 6.
And she says, but the forums aren't even populating anyone in the smaller groups at the forum level.
Did she?
She'll
Well, I'm going to show you what to do at the assignment level, and you might check that on your assignment, Tara, and see. So let's look at that right now. So let me go into this course that I've just kind of a play course here, and go to the home page. And here's a forum I've created, so I'm going to open that one. You go to Edit Settings down here. Okay, so here, if you go to Common Module Settings, Tara, you might look to see what it says on your Common Module Settings, okay? This one, separate groups, and then it has the particular grouping I've created for it. So this one will be set up for student groups. So you might check that and see what it says.
So it seems like that grouping is even more important, because you don't, if you're going to do groups, you have to set a separate one up for your groups now,
Yeah,
which we didn't used to
yeah.
have to do.
Right, that's an additional step.
So I'm glad you said that about colleagues, because I was wondering why you had to do that grouping step. So that makes it essential. I mean, you have to do that.
Right.
Has she said anything else about that?
She says she just checked and she'll try the grouping thing and see what happens.
That
Okay.
should work.
Okay. All right. So after you've done that, I have mine on separate groups, and so I'll let you look and see what this looks like. So this is another setting I'll get into later, this red bar right here. But it's on separate groups, but it shows all participants because I'm the teacher. So if I go down to switch role to student, it should just show me very limited groups here. So that's probably something to do with some teacher. But if you're a student and you're just enrolled in Group A, it's just going to show Group A. So I like that, because if you're in a group, I just want you doing what's in your group. I don't want you looking at everything else. So, but I mean, you may not have an issue with it, so that's fine. So you can leave it on visible. So, all right. So, all right, so there are many uses for forums. How do you guys use your forums? What are some ways you've used them? Just basic.
Just for discussion, maybe.
Okay. Well, yes, that's great. Well, Moodle, I was looking at their suggestions for their forums, and they actually had some that I had never even really thought of before, so I thought those were cool. So the first one is social space for students to get to know each other. I think we try to all incorporate that in all of our courses, so that's good. Extension activities for brain teasers for students to ponder and suggest solutions. course announcements. Doing the course announcement, but making it a forced subscription is neat. So anytime you want to announce something to the class and you want to make them read it, so to speak, you can do that. So I thought that was neat. Discussing content, the videos, articles. Then they had one, I've never seen it before, but a one-on-one support area for a private discussion between you and the student. And so what you would do basically is just create separate groups with just one student in them. And, that might be a lot for like a big class, but that would be a way that you could just, talk to them separately. So I thought that was kind of a different idea.
Misty, for the
Yeah.
discussions, I try to make it where it's not necessarily a canned response, something like directly out of the textbook. It doesn't always happen, but it's better if it's something where they have to like self-reflect, so they can't like look at what everyone else
Yes.
has written before they do their own and just kind of copy what other people have done. So I try to make it to where it's more individualized for
Yeah.
responses.
That's good. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Very personalized, and they have to actually think about it. I like that. So we've already done that. So I like what you said about having them come up with with their own response instead of reading through and seeing what everybody else is saying. And there's actually a way with the Q&A forum type that you can kind of set that. And I know you've probably seen that before, but that's where you set it up to where they have to do their discussion and they can't have access to anybody else's or read anybody else's until they do theirs. So I thought that was neat. My brother, he's in an online class at OU, and his professor has it set up like that. I know it frustrates him a lot. Because, you want to see if you're like, kind of on the same page with the rest of the class. But it's a good way to ensure that you're getting original thoughts from your students. So it's kind of a neat deal. So these are the type of forms that we can set up through our discussion forums. There's a standard one. Anyone can start a new discussion at any point. There's the limited one, where each person is only limited to posting or starting one discussion, okay? So they can't go on there and post like 3 separate discussions. There's the Q&A one, which is the one I just talked about, where, they have to post before they read others. There's the blog-like one, which is really just a format, really, when you or they go to the page, it's like a blog and it's all on one page. Like, I think that would drive me nuts a little bit, but some people like to see it all from one view. And then there's the single simple forum. This is the one you can't use group mode on. And it's really just super basic, and I don't really like it because I found that I couldn't put any content in it really, and it's one discussion. It's not even one person each does a discussion. It's just the teacher posts a discussion, everybody replies. So that's what that is.
And do you want to hear
Yeah.
Tara's?
Yeah.
Okay. So she said that she did the grouping and it shows students in the groups when she's in the creation screen, but when she's in the forum, it's still not populating them. It's only populating the larger group.
And she chose her grouping?
It didn't say. She said she did the grouping.
Yep. She said yep. That might be a Michelle question, Tara. Because if you are choosing your grouping, I don't know why it would still select the other groups.
On the actual assignment, she'll need to click at the screen to see that her grouping as well, not just in the settings where she saves it, but that might.
Tara, on the actual assignment under Common Module Settings, is that where you chose your grouping? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd say maybe email Michelle Bowie on that. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm sorry.
Okay, she said she'll do that.
Okay. So several types of forums. So let me go back to this basic one I have set up. This is the standard one. Go to Edit Settings, and this is where you do it, forum type right here, and you just choose all the various ones. So if I were to do the Q&A one where it kind of makes me post first, let's see what that looks like. it will have a red bar like this that tells you, you know, you can't post until you post, but I think since I've already started it and I'm a teacher, it's not popping up. So. But this is for something else. This is a limit that I put on the forum for people that want to dominate it. And so I'll kind of show you how you can do that. I don't know. Have you guys used the let me see, what is it called? It's called the blocking. Have any of you used the blocking feature on there? Okay. So let's do that. Let's show you that. So if you go back to edit settings, so there's this subscription tracking. So, you know, you can make everybody have a forced subscription, and, you know, that's something, if that's something you want to do, you can do that there. So that's neat. Or you can just leave it on optional and they can choose their own. Or you can put it on auto, and I think it will automatically subscribe, but they still have the option to go in and change it. So that's nice. Then there is post threshold for blocking. So this is great because it allows you to have control over how many posts and when they post. So if you don't want a student doing all of their posts in one day, this is where you would do it at. So you wouldn't really even have to put that in the directions or the instructions of the assignment. You would just do it here and bam, they can't do anything about it. So, you know, I have it for 2 days or 1 day. And then I have it for, they can't do any more than 3 posts in 1 day. And that's the limit on 1 day. And then it will even be set up to give them a warning, like after 2 posts, it will tell them, okay, your last post is all you can do for the day. I know that sounds really funny. It's like the post police or something. But I know when I taught at MACU, it was huge in the grading element that they didn't want students posting all in like 1 or 2 days. They want it spread out so they know that they're checking into the course more than 1 day a week. So that's kind of a way you can implement that if you wanted to.
Does that tie in at all with like due dates for the assignment?
I don't. You would think it would. Let's see.
I don't set dates on my.
I don't think it does. I think it just looks at 1 day and
Okay.
doesn't let them do any
Starting
more than
at whatever time the first post
Right.
is,
Okay.
24
Yeah.
hours maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the actual date, unless, let me go down here and see. Well, I'm grading. Yeah, if I were to set up a date range, let's see if that changes that at all. There, I don't think it will, but no, it really doesn't. Yeah, so I guess it's not really date related, it's more just day-wise. There's a limit on the day, so. Okay, so, all right. So, how many of you have worked with the advanced forum feature? Do you like it? No? Nobody likes the advanced forum? Okay.
Use it.
You haven't used it? Okay. Well, here's kind of the differences broken out right here in case you want to use it. I know it's a little bit more complicated and you have to go to different places to do different things, so I know that that's not always fun. But, okay, so the advanced forum, you can basically grade and give feedback in one place, the Joule Grader, okay? And so what do we do on regular forums? You know, we can have the rating set up and that will go to our grade book. But if we want to give them feedback, we have 2 options. We have to go directly to the grade book, which kind of stinks because you know, you can't have, you know, like you want to be looking at that discussion when you're writing the feedback. So it's like you got to go back and forth. Or you can reply where everyone can see, and you don't really want to do that for feedback, you know. So you kind of have to do 2 different spots when you grade with the regular form. Advanced form's different, like I said, Joule Grader. So let's look at that, Joule Grader. Get out of here. I just love that little piggy.
I would say.
Okay, so I have one set up right here. So I have this one set up, and I kind of put a note to myself. This is one I've added a rubric to. So, we'll go down, sorry, I meant to go to Joel Grader instead of going there. Go down to Joel Grader right here. Okay, so from here, I can choose the discussion forum I want to grade. That's the only one that has Joel Grader or the rubric with it right now. So, and then I can choose the students' discussion posts that I want to look at. So right now, I want to look at, online assistant. I want to see all of theirs. So it's going to tell me total posts 2, post 1, replies 1. So that's kind of nice being a teacher and seeing if they've met all of the replies. So it gets kind of hairy, I know, in the regular forum when you have to go through there and kind of look up all their different replies, and you got to click on all the different discussion posts. So that's kind of a nice feature with Joel Grader. You can see it all right here. And then you can come over here and you can type feedback for them right here. And this one has a rubric set up. So all I got to do is just look at my rubric and push the different box of what they did, and bam, they have a grade. So I like that. All of that feeds into the grade book, so you don't have to go back to the grade book and do anything else. The student will see the feedback right here that you type in the grade book. They won't actually see this rubric unless they go to the Joel Grader. So if you do use it and you want them to be aware of the rubric, you might just point them to that direction and say you'll need to go to your Joel Grader to see the rubric. Otherwise, they can still see their grade and the feedback in the grade book. So I like that about it. What frustrates you about the advanced forum, those of you that have had issues with it?
Just in developing courses, it's sometimes hard for the adjuncts. They're not familiar, and
it's
they don't
kind
know
of
where
a
to
training
go.
process.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's definitely not as simple as the other one. So some of the other differences, okay, well, like we just said, you can see all of the students right there. You just select the student. You can see all the replies, all their posts. It's kind of cleaned in that way, and you don't have to go hunting. You can also do the anonymous posting option, so you can allow that in the advanced forum, which you can't do in the regular forum. And then you can also export all of the discussions into an Excel spreadsheet. So that's kind of a neat deal. I don't really know why you'd want to do that, but you can do that. So that's
Well, it's kind of like the anonymous posting. I'm thinking, I'm not sure why you would want to do that either. Unless it was going to be like Yik Yak or something.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to go there with our courses, but
yeah,
it's interesting. I didn't realize.
Yeah, those are some. So if I go to that advanced forum, let's see, go back there. Okay, so right here where it says allow anonymous posting, that's the feature you don't see on the regular form, and that's where you would do it if you wanted to do that. Yeah. Not sure when and where you would want to use that, but if you did, that is where you would locate it.
Okay, you have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So, Tara first says she would be willing to learn the advanced forums to have it be that easy to use the rubric and make comments to them.
Uh-huh.
And then Steve says, as an adjunct, do we have the ability to link a forum to Joel, or is that done in the course design?
Well, it's done in the course design because what happens is whoever's developing the course just selects an advanced forum, and that's the only way. It doesn't really link to Joel. It's just that comes with the advanced forum. Joel comes with it. So, yeah, I don't think as an adjunct you would have the ability to add that to your course. But if that's already in your course, this is really to show you how to use it.
Is there a way to grade the advanced without going to Joel? I don't believe there is.
I don't think there is.
And that's why I don't put them in course designs for that reason.
Yeah. I think you could go to the grade book and put the grade there. Because when I've gone there, there's still a spot, so you can still put it there. But that would be the only other way you could actually put a grade there.
And he says that's what he thought. He has tried to do that, but couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
And then Tara asked if we could add the advanced forums to the initial online training, the OIT.
Well, all of the forums in that training are advanced forums, but I know what you're saying, to actually be able to maneuver them and to know how they work. I think that's a great suggestion. I'd love to do that in the future. Yeah. Thank you. Good suggestion. So I guess I was just going to show you how to add a rubric to your advanced forum. So if you're an adjunct, I'm sorry, because you can't really do this. But what you would do is it would go right here on the grade on edit settings and then manual, and you would select rubric. I've got to take it off of it and save it and go back to show you what it looks like. So let me do that really quick. Okay. Back here. Okay, so under grade, we're going to make it say rubric. All right, so there's a form already there that you can select and edit to your liking. And so what you would do is just save that. And then now you have a rubric in your Joule Grader. So any questions on that? And I'm sorry, I know as an adjunct, it kind of stinks because you can't, do or add some of these things to your courses. I know, I've been there. Okay, so those are just, directions if you wanted to do that. Here are some helpful, short videos on different aspects of the forums, which I've mainly covered, but if you wanted to see them in a little bit more detail, you could. But are there any more forum questions that we could discuss? Let me go back to my home page here. Going back to this one, this message here says this forum has a limit to the number of forum postings you can make in a given time period. This is currently set as 3 postings in 2 days. So your students will see that if you do the threshold blocker thing. So they will see that. And they will also see a red tag like this that says, if you have it on visible groups, they'll see this and it says you cannot post to this group if it's not their group. But they can still read them. They just can't post to them. So I'm going to go back to Joule Grader. That's basically it, you guys. If you have any questions or if you want to see if something, kind of play around with anything, let me know. Kind of a short one. Let me go to the grade book and show you what this looks like in the grade book just while we're here.
Sure.
Go back here. So these are my advanced, this is stuff that I typed in Joule Grader, and of course it's going to show up here. So that's what it would look like there. Student view. If I'm a student and I'm going to Joule Grader, I go the same way you would to the administrative panel. And this is what it would look like from the student view, and you have to tell them to actually click that to see their grade, and that's what they would see on the rubric.
So you almost need like a video tutorial for that. I mean, you almost need like a video tutorial for that to take them to the. That would be.
I got that student Moodle resources page.
Yeah.
Is there one?
I don't know, but
That'd be a good place to house it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. A lot more steps than just clicking on grades.
Yeah, I wish there was almost like a link in the grade book that they, since they're already looking at their grade and feedback there, that they could get the rubric there. So yeah, I don't think the students are going to know to go to Dual Grader and pull the rubric unless you specifically tell them in the forum to do that. So that's one of those advanced forum things that are kind of a pain.
And it seemed like we had some issue with the Q&A forums, but I'm trying to think what it was.
Okay, the Q&A forums, to actually make them work in our version of Moodle, so that students don't see other people's posts, the instructor has to put the question, has to start the first question,
Oh,
and then they respond to that.
okay.
Does that
Okay,
make
yeah,
sense?
because I've been sitting there thinking, now I know there was something with that Q&A forum that didn't work the way we
Okay,
thought.
well that's good to know
So-
because
The instructor has
Yeah.
to start it, and
if
then,
the instructor
they
doesn't start
respond
it,
to
they can't start it.
right.
So the
Well, they
instructor-
can start individual feeds, but they can
can't
still see what
everybody's.
they can see what everybody's initial, but they can't see replies until they reply to someone's post.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know.
That's what
Oh,
it was.
Thank
That's what I was
you.
trying to remember.
So yeah, if you use that Q&A one, you have to start the discussion for them to.
And a lot of people recycle their courses, and
Mhm.
so they would need to remember to do that.
Like that'd be kind of good turn it in assignment,
Yeah.
resetting that up. You'd have to reset that question on your Q&A format every time.
That's why.
And it's same on a
You-
wiki.
Yeah.
When you have a student, or when you have create a page for the wiki, the instructor has to do that each time during the setup, so the students can edit and respond within the wiki. It's kind of the same way.
Kind of the same thing. Well, that's why they're a pain to use.
Yeah.
Because then the adjunct has all this work. They have to go in and they have to turn everything back on and. Does Steve have a question?
No, he just says, thank you, Misty. I understand not allowing adjuncts total access to manipulate Moodle. What a nightmare that would be for you folks.
Yeah. Well, not Steve though. He's great. Thanks for your understanding, Steve.
Are we going to draw for the prize?
Yeah,
How
let's
many
draw.
people do we have?
We have Steve, Klaus, and Tara Cole. I think that's it. Steve, y'all have a 25% chance of winning the underwater, what is it, underwater
Underwater.
speaker? Waterproof speaker.
Water.
Just drop it in the ocean, listen to some
It's
music
so
on
nice.
vacation.
Jive. Jive speaker, water resistant wireless speaker.
I didn't sign in.
And Tamara needs to sign in as well. Did you sign in? She wants that waterproof speaker for her new house.
Indeed.
Did she add you?
Actually, I'm thinking his birthday is Monday. It's her 21st birthday.
Steve Klaus.
Steve Klaus, you win, Steve. Yay.
Do you want me to mail it, or will you be by? Is he still there?
Oh, wait. Yeah, he still shows in there.
Must be present today.
He said, ooh, now Patty has a Christmas gift.
I'm gonna tell her it was a free prize.
He didn't say if he wants you to mail it or not.
Okay. Because he's here sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You teach us that.
we'll get it to you somehow.
We have till Christmas. Surely
Yeah.
we'll be back for Christmas.
Let's see this video. What's wrong with it?